Hey guys, what's going on? The Gaminator is back and ready to attack, baby. Today with
The Wifeinator.
the Wifeinator, yes. So we are going to bring you a video today about, why you should buy an Xbox One in 2015. Now it's January. The consoles have been out for well over a year. It's hard to believe, right?
I know, it's crazy.
I know. We stood out in line, both of us, for the PS4. So we've had a PS4 the entire life cycle of this current generation of gaming. And about 10 days ago, we picked up an Xbox One. We did pick it up with Kinect. The reason I picked it up with Kinect was I was very worried about the UI. I'd heard very horrible things about the UI, and it made me kind of scared. So I picked up the Kinect for the voice commands, and that's basically the model that we have. Now, a little backstory between the two of us. The Wifeinator doesn't have a lot of experience in gaming. She didn't grow up with a lot of consoles. And so she brings a different perspective into this. She brings into the perspective of someone who has, if you've never owned a console before, if you've never, if you're thinking about just getting into the 5th generation or the 8th generation here and you don't know a lot about it, she brings a very fresh take. I bring a take of been playing games forever. So this is kind of the dynamic that we bring. And I wanted to ask you, what do you think are the positives about the console that you've seen so far?
Well, I know I had the Kinect for, I don't even know what console it was for.
The 360?
Yeah, it was a 360. It was quite a while ago. But I was worried that it was going to kind of work like that connected. And that Kinect definitely was really slow and not the best and kind of like the beta version.
Pretty much.
But this Kinect works really well. It works really fast. The one thing I was most excited about is flipping the channels with your voice. And it actually works. I was so excited. I didn't think it would. And you just have to say, like, go TLC, and it'll go there in a second. It's really fast. I think you tried it out with the snap thing, where it can snap and put the two different programs running at the same time, and that works. Like, it just goes back and forth in like a millisecond. And it's awesome. I just love it. I always get confused because he's talking to the TV, and I'm like, hey, what? I'm like, what did you say? But yeah, that's the only downfall.
No, the console is definitely fast. As she touched on it, you can sit here and even just tell the Xbox, like, go to YouTube. Xbox, go to Twitch. Xbox, go to YouTube. Xbox, go to Dragon Age Inquisition. Xbox, go to YouTube. So you see, the console actually is very, very fast. It actually moves very quickly with its multitasking. That's a very good thing because I find that the Xbox is almost designed for multitasking, and that is something that you might not expect from the console. You might not think that it would work that quickly. It actually does, and it really does blow my mind that it actually goes that fast. The PlayStation 4 is great. The UI is simpler on the PlayStation 4, but when it comes to moving around, getting from A to B, going quickly, you can't do it better than the Xbox One. The other thing, as you saw there, the Kinect works actually pretty good. When you talk to it, it just goes. And it makes those switches really quickly. I was really worried about the Kinect because half the videos on YouTube say, don't buy it, it's the worst thing on the planet. The other half the videos on YouTube say, buy it, it's great.
Yeah, compared to the 360 one, it is amazing. It's like light years ahead of that one.
Exactly. And
It's
you know
crazy.
what? I never had an Xbox Kinect on my Xbox 360. Never had one. I picked one up. Again, more for the fear of the UI than anything else. I wasn't, you know what I mean? I just wanted to know that I could say, Xbox, go to YouTube, and it would do that, right? I wanted, there we go.
It's listening.
It worked. It's listening.
And you can tell it to stop listening too, which is cool.
Yeah, you say stop listening,
So
and
you can
it'll
talk
stop.
freely and it won't be like going everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. So for me, the Xbox Kinect works really, really good. You do have to be careful what you're saying while you're playing games. For example, if you say to somebody while you're playing Call of Duty, oh, the Xbox does YouTube really well, every now and again, it'll actually quit you out of your game and take you to
Really?
YouTube. Yeah,
That's
which
not
is
good.
It's not very good. So sometimes the Kinect is listening when you don't want it to be.
Yeah, so
but
it's good it has that feature.
exactly. But enough about the Kinect. The Kinect, I think, adds a lot to the system. But some of the downfalls that people say that I don't agree with are, people say that the TV system is useless. And running your cable box through the TV is useless. And for some points I'll agree with, because most of what the Xbox does, the cable box does, right? You can do 98% of the things you can do on the TV just with your cable box. But a couple things that the Xbox does that I like is, for example, if the wife and Ada and I had 2 separate Xbox Live accounts, we could have 2 separate favorite lists of channels on our accounts.
That's
which is
pretty
something which is something that a cable box cannot do, and I think that's awesome. The other thing that I like about the console is that, or with the TV on the console, is that you can actually have your entire list of channels done with your voice. Going back to the Kinect, it works. You got to learn a lot. You have to figure out exactly what the Xbox wants you to say. I know she can tell you that I've sat here before and said, God damn it doesn't work. But you know what? You just got to figure out what it wants you to say, and then it'll go to that channel.
You have to kind of get used to it at first, because it can be a little frustrating, but once you realize what all the commands are, then it's just second nature. It only takes a little while.
Exactly, yeah. So one of the things that people don't like, and I don't exactly agree with, is the UI, the user interface of the console. And yes, I get it, it's Windows 8. Not a lot of people like Windows 8, but if you're not already aware, Windows 10 is coming out next year, or thereabouts. So what you're going to get is a whole new user interface. It's going to change completely. I don't know what Windows 10 has to offer, but, it's going to change everything once that comes out.
And also, I actually don't like the Windows 8 on the computers. It gets really annoying because it switches and is so sensitive and everything. But on the Xbox One, I actually really prefer it. Just because it's so much easier to switch through all the different apps and everything when it's set up this way. So it really is just personal kind of preference. Like, it's really weird. I hate it on the computer, but on here I find it way better and way easier.
The touch on the pins here, because that's another thing. You can just pin all the apps and all the things that you want. She loves Netflix, right? I love Twitch. We both like YouTube. I have the games that I have here pinned on the thing. You can have 15 of them, I believe, pinned over here.
That's the best feature.
Exactly. But the thing is, even without the Kinect, even if I didn't buy a Kinect, this user interface is not as bad as people make it out to be. Once you learn it, it's not that bad. So one thing I wanted to talk about before we go as well is that the console is so much more than just a gaming console. And I know that's how it was advertised when it first came out, but I never really believed it. The really cool thing about this is that I want to show you how many apps are available here. Now, the PlayStation 4 has, a few apps. But here, other than your achievements activities, you have, game DVR for recording on there, Windows Media Player to hook up to your entire house. You've got Party Chat. I have NHL on here, Netflix, Twitch. There's an upload studio where you can edit your recorded stuff and upload it right from here. Vine, YouTube, Vivo. There's all these really cool things here.
You can use the Internet Explorer, and you can read your homework on there if you have any online readings, all that kind of stuff. So you can work on all your homework and also have the Snap going and have YouTube or Netflix or music and just multitask and see it both on the split screen. So that's actually a really awesome way to get through all your boring work and to have entertainment at the same time.
Absolutely. And you know what? The console does a great job at doing that. I can even show you here with Internet Explorer open. We can sit here and basically do what you need to do. This is her campus site. And if you want, you can sit here and go Xbox, Snap, YouTube. And you can actually watch. Once you pick, if you're doing your homework, you'd want to pick a playlist because you have to go full screen first on this to pick a playlist, and then it'll just play the entire thing. But you can snap YouTube and still read what you need to read or do what you need to do on here. So it's a valid point. And, she was saying as well, if you want to sell this console to your significant other like I had to do, sell it on the other stuff. This does so much more than just games. And that's the great thing, is the games are great as well. look at some of the exclusives they have. I mean, the Master Chief Collection is great. They did royally fuck up the online, but that's okay. The games themselves are remastered and look beautiful. The Halo 3 remaster, the Halo 4.
There's such an amazing difference. I couldn't even believe it.
She's watched people play Halo in the past, and she was blown away.
Yeah, it's so choppy on the old versions, and now it's just amazing and smooth. And
as well, like, look at games like, I bought Dragon Age Inquisition, and the things that she says, like, basically, from a non-gamer's eye, she can't tell the difference between PS4 and Xbox One graphics. She's even told me that herself. She thinks they look the same. And that even though the Xbox One may be underpowered to a degree, to a non-trained eye, you're never going to know the difference unless they're side by side.
Looks better.
She thinks Xbox One looks better. Tell us in the comments how you feel about that.
It does, though.
But realistically, I mean, the Xbox One might be underpowered, but to an untrained eye, and if they're not side by side, you're never going to notice.
It's more, it seems like it does more, and it's faster and runs smoother.
Yeah. And again, this is from somebody who's not familiar with consoles, right? It's just an honest opinion. You know what I mean? And so, guys, I hope this video made sense to you, because what we're trying to say here is the Xbox One brings a lot of value to your purchase, right? You're not just buying this console for games. You're buying this console for great games and a lot of great other content.
Yeah, it's not just for the gamer. It's for anybody who wants to be entertained.
For anybody who wants to be entertained. And that's the way to sell it to your wife, your kids, your family. So, everybody, let me know in the comments below what you think. I know there's a lot of people. There is no middle ground on Xbox One, it seems. Everybody's PS4, Xbox One, or they hate one or the other. There's no middle ground. I know that. But let me know in the comments whether you're going to get an Xbox One in 2015. You know, Microsoft is behind right now. They don't have that #1 spot. And you know what? That's the best thing for consumers, because they want to sell you a console more than ever. And they're going to make their console better and better until they can do that. So, guys, I think now is as good a time as any to buy an Xbox One. And let me know in the comments if you've already bought one, how are you liking it? If you haven't already bought one, are you? And if you own a PS4, you know, what are your thoughts on the PS4 comparatively? I mean, as unbiased as you can be, let me know in the comment section below. And guys, if you liked the video, if you liked our little dynamic here, we're going to come back with a lot more videos, she and I. So let us know if you liked the Gaminator and the Wifeinator combo. And everybody, I will see you in the next video. Take care now.
Peace. You know that UI stands for urinary infection?
You know that UI also stands for user interface?
Oh, does it? I was wondering what it stood for. I was like, that's a little gross.
Oh my god.
I was like, what the heck is a UI?
And as soon as Windows 10 is released, this UI is going away. They're going to give you...
Don't worry, guys. The UI is going away.